Hi, welcome to another episode of The Crazy Green Landlord. And why am I crazy? I think I'm the only sane one in the room. But I look at the planet as a living, breathing organism, and we're extensions of it. And we should be wanting the whole thing to survive instead of polluting ourselves out of existence. I stopped burning gas in 2011 as soon as I got an electric car. Before that, I was hauling my kids on an extension bike I built and was taking 7 miles from Roseville to Minneapolis to music school. The arguments I've had against converting from gas to electric cars are range anxiety, pollution from the battery, inconvenience, blah, blah, blah. I just want to not die from whatever I'm spewing into the atmosphere. I'm trying to figure out how to say pass gas out your ass, not your car, in at least 5 different languages. Saca gasolina por el culo, no por el Haha. We've just signed up for another 90,000 watts of solar to produce clean energy, so we'll be up over 300,000 watts of solar in the next 2 years. We've looked at every way we can to decarbonize our lives and to try to live more sustainably, growing more food, not buying as little as possible. So as far as consumption goes, we're using up planetary resources 175 times faster than they can be replenished. What's the end game here? If you've ever watched the cartoon WALL-E, the Pixar movie, where basically this one robot is stacking up all our crap, we're living on some jet, turning into blobs. Everybody just keeps going through the motions. You know, it's kind of like being Catholic. It's like everybody's looking around, nobody knows, why they're doing what they're doing, but they're just doing what everybody else is doing. I can say that. I was raised Catholic, left as soon as I could. I just wanted to have my kids to have a planet to live on, to have a future for people after me. We're here by the grace of our ancestors. We should really care about who comes after us and not leave a mess. If you put your lips to your tailpipe, you're gonna die. If you drink 2 ounces of gasoline, you're gonna die. So what makes you think it's okay to burn it and breathe it? We have an electric Ford E-Transit I got for $18,000. You can get those all day long used for under 30. And have a 6-ton towing capacity. Chevy Bolts, we got Chevy Bolts, we got a Tesla Y, I know. And we've got, we used to have a couple of short range Leafs, so you can get those for under $5,000 all day long if you just want a towny car that's got a 60 to 80 mile range. Average American just drives 32 miles a day. So why do you need so much? Ask yourself that. Why do you need so much? We really need to go easier on the planet and figure out what that looks like. So we've bought in old buildings and we've eco-tricked them out by putting in better heat plants, solar, EV charge stations, gardens so people can grow their own food, free cycle areas where people can recycle their usable goods. We have 9 different recycling streams that we reduce our waste that way by recapturing the tenants' waste and taking them to sites around town. And we're going to keep going. Right now, we've got probably 20 gas appliances left. This year in 2026, we're going to make sure we knock out all of our gas, water heaters, dryers, and stoves. We cut that portion of the burning out. And this is all stuff we do one stove at a time. We don't do big flashy projects for the most part, except maybe the solar. But it's all just picking off a project here, a project there. Minneapolis has money, cost share programs. There's always things you could do, like food waste. 40% of the food in this country is wasted. 40% of the food in this country is wasted. Check out this Netflix documentary called Plastic Earth. Instead of Planet Earth, it's called Plastic Earth. We're basically becoming plastic people. Fetuses are born with plastic in their, inundated with plastic. So again, we're seeing all the impact of our overconsumption. We're drowning in this stuff, and there's no reason for it. 75 years ago, we didn't even have this crap, and now we think we can't live without it. Well, let's figure it out. 40% of food is wasted. What can you make out of food waste? You can make anything you can make out of oil with food waste. So when you're done with your sweater that they made fabric out of the bio-based resin, bio-based plastic, they can make fabric out of that. You get rid of your sweater, you throw it in the garden, you grow tomatoes out of it. I mean, that's what we're looking at, is a completely full cycle in the economy where nothing is wasted and there's no reason to waste anything. Sunlight is free, capture it. Figure it out. There's new developments every day. They're using city size, there's something called rust batteries. Look it up. Minnesota has 2 operational rust batteries, municipal sized batteries that store wind and solar long-term in rust, reverse the process, and then it releases the electrons when they reverse the rust process. So you're storing solar in rust. How cool is that? MIT came up with that. Check it out. The other thing too is just innovations in batteries. 800-mile long charge. Batteries that charge in a couple seconds instead of 30 minutes to an hour. So all those things are innovations if we put our efforts to it and allow scientists to thrive and not cut their funding. If you don't like their graphs, don't shut the lights off in their lab, right? Check out Ella Cordova online. Shout out to Ella Cordova. Got some great music that speaks to that. Man, it's exhausting. But every day I wake up on fire. I went to a party the other night, and one of the guests says, "Man, I've never met anybody with so much cocaine energy than you." And it's like, no, I don't do coke. I do life. I wake up on fire. It's like I have a purpose in life. I'm going to try and save as much of this planet as I can till the end of my days. And my wife's talking retirement. I'll retire when I dig the last hole and fall in. I just don't have any desire to stop. I won't get on a plane anymore. I won't fly anymore. Trying to encourage others not to do that either, because it's like we don't have a lot of time left if we keep heating up the planet. The last 13 years now, this is the 13th hottest year in a row. In other words, it used to go like this, up and down, then it started rising, right? And people started worrying. It's like, wait a minute. And now it's the point where it's going straight up every year. Each year is the hottest year on record. We can't sustain that. We're screwed. It's 40 degrees, going to be 40 degrees this Christmas. 40 degrees on Christmas Day. And yeah, we might have hit some records sooner than later, but not this much of a stretch. We got a 10-degree day today, so what? That's a one-off, but the trend is up. Again, the winters are getting more and more compressed. Last year we were 4 feet under on our snowfall in the area. We're in a record drought again. People aren't feeling it because we had some decent sporadic rainfall. We had great tomatoes this year. Another thing we do at Green Rock Apartments in Minneapolis is we have fruit trees. We do a lot of fruit. And this year we've got about 20 peach trees, and they're all going to be full. So we'll see how that works out. See if we can use all those peaches. So let's see what else is going on. So just like something new I learned. I mean, you never stop learning. Like a couple months ago, I learned that 58% of the plastic in the ocean is paint. Paint? Shout out to Ecos Paints, ECOS. They use bio-based resins as a binder in their paints instead of crude oil. Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, all those are crude oil. You're smearing crude oil all over the outside and inside of your house. Highly toxic. All the paint flakes is, again, more microplastics in your body, in your children, in your soil, in your water. It's just all around us, and we can stop it if we use science and figure things out. Toronto, Canada, the university there, found out that if you put your clothes on the gentle cycle, you stop the shedding of plastic fibers in the water by 70%. Just putting it on gentle or hand wash instead of normal cycle. So there's another thing. Just do the Google thing. Look around and see what's out there. There's let's see. I wish I had it in front of me, but there is backup battery kits for your home, and we're going to be doing those for our tenants and let them have backup power with solar panels that they can hang on their balcony, so that we've built in resilience, because we're going to have more and more storms, more and more power outages, and so we need to build in safety nets and localized power so that people can survive. It's like when I bought that Ford van, we had a power outage for 2 days in Roseville, 3 days, I forget. My wife would say it was 2. I tend to round up. So anyway, but we plugged our house in. I only lost 10 miles of range plugging our house into that van in 2 days. That was nuts. I mean, that's the thing people don't realize about electric vehicles. Too, is that there's so many other built-in benefits to electric vehicles besides emissions, besides no maintenance. On the Ford E-Transit, there's no maintenance schedule. There's nothing. A cab, filter every 20,000 miles, something like that. Tires and washer fluid, that's it. So the money you save, it's a third the cost of a gas vehicle. Any electric vehicle is a third the cost. And that includes batteries, that includes maintenance. The Union of Concerned Scientists in the New York Times did a study from the ground up of the carbon impact of electric and gas vehicles, and they found that gas vehicles were, gas and electric vehicles up to 27,000 miles are even in their carbon footprint. After that, it's all the damages from gas vehicles. So 27,000 miles. You think you're going to get a new car every 27,000 miles? No. That car is going to be around for 100 years, unless it's a Dodge. Sorry, Dodge. So what else is going on? How can we do this? Am I hopeful? Nah, I'm hopeful but not optimistic. What breeds hope is action. Doing something. Nobody's coming to save you but yourself. So figure it out. Be smart. Be smart with your money. Again, like Christmas, people are spending at least $700 to $1,000 on Christmas presents. I don't do that anymore. Christmas to me is all year. It's an all year giving thing. It's like you give away, like our tenants get gift certificates all year long to local sustainable businesses that we want to help. So we do that on a regular basis. And then, so for Christmas, I give time, I give events, I give foot massagers, I give dinners, things like that, experiences that we can come together and communicate and be in a community instead of just stuff. So yes, my kids got a few toys growing up, but we didn't like smother the tree. They got a couple things and that's it. So this showing somebody you love them by giving them stuff, that doesn't mean anything. What means something to somebody is you spending time with them. And cash helps. That's true. Cash. So tens and 20s, no large bills, please. Joking. I don't want anything, don't need anything, and I'm not a bah humbug person. I just don't want any more stuff. I think everything I'm wearing out for free. This is probably older than most of you. I could use a few repairs. Got to work on my sewing. So let's see. What else? Hey, Aiden, back behind the camera.
Yeah.
What else did I talk about? Did I cover everything? I think I pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, I think most of that was mostly unusable.